Welcome to the only podcast that drinks lemonade that's not always pink. Sometimes it's yellow, and sometimes it's not lemonade.
But you can still taste the mango.
Whoa. Yeah, so this is the first take, I promise, and we're killing it, I think. How do you start this, Cynthia?
I'm sorry, I got that piece of jerky out of my teeth. I'm sorry.
It's good.
I've been fucking with. Okay, what did you think about?
I love it. I love like a bunch of this guy's films. So Stanley Kubrick.
Mm-hmm.
He's just so technical or whatever, and I know the way that he shoots isn't like what people are used to. You know, it's very drawn out and long, and I think I had that problem with the film. And I think that's why I don't think most people would want to watch this. I'm sure they would rather watch Saw or even Chucky or whatever. The other movies that we watched have a different vibe, except for The Exorcist. This one had like a similar, like drawn out kind of suspenseful thing. And I really appreciate that there weren't like any jump scares or anything like that. It was way more suspenseful than anything else. And I really appreciated that. But because I'm used to modern filmmaking and the speed of it,
Oh, that's weird. I always forget. I know that's like the whole point of this podcast is that you haven't seen very many films.
Yeah, no.
But I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, he hasn't seen
No,
the
'cause, like,
classics.
No.
Like,
No,
holy
like
shit.
Us, like the last movie we watched was Us. It was so quick, and I told you that it was like so quick.
And
So like going
this
from
is
that,
exactly the opposite.
and it's so wild. I was watching, I'm like, holy crap! Like
That's fucking
the moment the fucking movie starts, where he's driving on the mountain,
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
like it's such a long shot, and there's like music, and it's getting intense and stuff. And I think that it works. It definitely works, but I don't know if this kind of filmmaking, like I don't know how that would play with like the modern attention
So I did
span.
good.
Yeah, no, it was a
this
great
film.
recommendation. I like it. I like Stanley Kubrick. Like I've watched other films he's also made.
Mm-hmm.
So like a Clockwork Orange and like 2001: A Space Odyssey and stuff. So I'm familiar with like his work, and it's interesting seeing this. And apparently Stephen King did not appreciate this film.
No, at all. Oh.
I realized that I was speaking just a lot.
No,
So.
it's okay. I thought you were gonna.
No, I mean I could just keep going, but like it's a 2-person deal, and I don't want to hog up all the time.
Okay, so that's what you thought of it.
Yeah, well, like I think.
I like to hear what you think because I've seen all of these.
Okay.
And so I'm like, I want to know your initial.
My viewing, I
review.
I not once was I just bored or anything. I watched this movie in like parts, if that makes any sense. We started watching it together, then it was getting late, and I started getting sleepy. Not because the movie was uninteresting, I was just tired. And then I tried watching it on my day off, but like I was by myself, and it was just.
Do you remember before you left? And I was like, okay, well, if you guys are leaving, I'm gonna change it. And you were like, it's not scary.
It's not.
And no, hold on.
It's not scary.
And then you said you were gonna watch it by yourself, but you said it was too much, and I was like, I told you, like I wasn't gonna watch it.
I was under the influence, to be fair, and that was already making me kind of paranoid. And then like I was listening to it on this fat speaker, so every like bump, creak, everything, it just felt like I was there. And it was just so intense, and I'm like, I can't do this. This feels super intense. Everything was dark as shit. Like it was not the vibe. So I turned it off and I started watching cartoons. And then I watched it on my own. I just went back to it later. And
did you start from the beginning?
No, I rewind it to the last part that I could remember.
Okay.
Like where the plot started making sense and stuff, and then I started watching it from there. And then I realized, at your place, I only watched like 30 minutes or 20 minutes or something.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, there's a lot of movie to watch. And it made me realize how long of a film it was, and how it felt. It might not have been that long in retrospect. It was like 2 hours and some change. But when you watch it, it feels like you've been in the story for a while. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like I'm following this character Jack or what have you. Is his name Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack
Torrance. They didn't even change Nicholson's
I thought that was
name.
pretty cool. They didn't change.
And
Danny's either.
Yeah. He's Danny through and through. But then Shelley Duvall,
Wendy.
Yeah. Which is. Yeah, I want to know how they casted these guys, because I think they're all very well done. I don't have a problem with any of the casting. Nothing seems weird, but Shelley Duvall as the wife, as like the mother, She just seemed. I don't know how to say this.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
She
like,
seems
before,
always weak. She never felt like a super strong or self-confident character. And I don't. And what I don't get is how these two people, like how Jack and how did they get together?
Yeah,
that didn't make sense.
Yeah,
That's like
actually, Wendy's character is one of like Stephen King's biggest critiques. Like that's what really pissed him off was
how Shelley was.
Yeah, in the book, she's like strong mama bear who's like she's gonna like do anything and everything she can to protect her kid.
Yeah,
and so he was fucking pissed. Like I think I have a
because she seems so like
he was
weak and like physically not imposing.
He literally like a quote of his is that is it Duvall? No, Shelley Duvall. Shelley Duvall's character, Wendy Torrance, has to be one of the biggest misogynistic characters to ever be in film. And he said she was literally just put there to scream and be stupid.
Yeah, I looked up.
He hated that,
dude. I looked up when I was trying to make like channel art and a bunch of other things. I found a cool stuff about Danny being scared, going like his iconic going down the halls with the tricycle. Jack Nicholson had so many good shots, and then I would look up Shelley Duvall. And all of them were her with her mouth open, looking like a dumbass.
Oh, and that's pictures?
Yeah, like looking for pictures. And it's like it's not her fault. Like I'm sure she's capable. And then I just went to pictures of Shelley Duvall just to see what. Okay, she can't just be like this all the time. And she's not. She looks very confident in certain pictures. Like in one of them, she looks like 80s hipstery, and I was like, that looks fucking crazy and cool. But like you're right. And like in the fucking movie, they make her seem like she's just a screaming stupid. A screaming stupid, you know?
And I don't want to make it seem like, well, I don't know about you, but like I don't want to seem like I'm shitting on her because like in this like perspective, this like what's his fucking name? Stanley Kubrick was trying
his
to
vision?
do. Yeah, in his vision, like she did awesome. Like that was fucking awesome. Like and what he wanted to fucking create, she fit that perfectly. And like I don't know. I love her character, but in comparison to the book and what Stephen King wanted, like I understand why he's pissed, and I like completely understand the misogyny and the like being afraid. Oh, there's actually a point in the behind the scenes shit that I was watching. Shelley, so like nobody felt any sympathy for her because like you have to think, like
she was not confident in any of her line delivery.
Well, have you heard how like when actors kind of have to play like insane or kind of like an outrageous character, they kind of start to like it's exhausting.
Like method acting.
Yeah.
You're talking about like the Joker and stuff.
Yeah. And how like a lot of people
everyone who
on
plays
the
a
set
joke,
will say like you can see it fuck with them. And so like that's kind of what was happening with her is because she had to like be so like
she had to put her
crazy.
mindset.
And she had to be like so much in almost every scene. She would like tire herself out and like it was fucking you can see it was fucking with her. And like for a while, I think at one point she's like feeling faint on set or something. Stanley Kubrick just straight up is like, I don't have any sympathy for you.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's straight up, dude.
I saw that.
I was like, what the fuck? And she's just like, I don't know. It seems like she's alone. Like aside from everyone else, like all the attention's on Jack Nicholson, and like she's just in the background like fucking suffering, and I'm like this poor.
Well, yeah, I remember she was like, it's so cold. She's like, you don't look cold though. You don't act cold. She's like, I'm fucking freezing.
There's so many times where they butt heads, dude. It's fucking crazy.
I had that too. I think in like my thing, I said he would harass her. Yeah. Like he would yell at her. And she had like lack of sleep through the whole thing, and she would smoke a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get his vision, right? Like in here, I'm talking about how like his shots are very specific. Like you can tell that everything is in the shot, and it feels like that on purpose. So like I don't feel like there's any mistakes, right? And it like makes the whole thing look great. And oh god, dude, I thought the power went out. Sorry, I thought the power went out.
Oh yeah, so she was actually from May all the way to October. She said she felt ill from all the stress of playing her character.
Yikes.
Which is fucking. But then she also because she had to like be so hysterical throughout the whole film, she like couldn't cry on cue anymore. Like she like couldn't fucking produce the tears. So in a lot of the shots. She has like glycerin, I think they used for her tears, because like a lot of it was real, but she couldn't do it anymore because she had done it so much.
You think like her tear ducts?
She like ran, her tear ducts were dry. Like that's what they said.
That's so fucked up.
I'm like, holy shit. Seeing what's his face tell her, I don't have any sympathy for you, as she was like
Stanley
feeling
Kubrick.
fucking faint. I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
holy shit.
he's brutal, dude. Like, and like his shit looks you can't argue with the outcomes. Like, it's great. Like,
Yeah.
art comes from suffering.
Even she said that, actually.
Yeah.
She's like, all the butting heads though in the end makes for like the great film. And she's like, and then once they're watching it together, they sit there and like they laugh and they're like, fuck yeah, like we
Remember
did it.
when you were bitching about how it was cold?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of the attention, I think even now in most discussions that I would research and hear about, everyone's talking about Jack Nicholson. And I get it. His facial expressions, man, are they wild.
Yeah.
Like he has like these mannerisms and stuff that like throughout the film you start to realize like, oh, this guy's fucking losing it.
Gecko. It's
Yeah,
already,
he's already
just
not there.
waiting for like, okay, I already know
He already seems off the hinges,
Yeah.
for sure. I don't know if that's how the character was supposed to be originally. I don't think so.
No.
I think it was supposed to be like a slow creep into madness. But like in this one, automatically he's like, I don't care that people
That's
died in
another
there. He's just
thing.
so willing to put his family in danger and shit like
Yeah.
that. He seems so selfish. What you were saying?
Oh, I was gonna say that's another thing that differs from the book, is he's supposed to be like this layered character
Mhm.
who like he has struggled with alcoholism. All of that's the same, right? But
Yeah.
like it's more of like a how do I become better, and how
Mhm.
can I like be better for my family, my wife and my kid.
Yeah.
And this like we're saying, fucking Jack in the beginning is already just
Mhm.
like, no, he fucking hates. He probably wants to kill them already. Like,
When they were driving up there for the first time, he seemed so annoyed.
yeah.
In his face, he
That's
just
what I'm
didn't
saying.
give
I'm
a
like,
shit.
how much did the hotel really do to you, buddy? You looked like you already
Yeah.
want to take an axe to your fucking.
The relationship that he has with Danny is so strange. It never seems like Danny likes him.
Yeah, and that's not what it was supposed to be like.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. It seems like he's scared of him at all times.
He's actually supposed to be a very caring and loving husband who,
Yeah.
like, again, he's just struggled with his vices,
Mhm.
but he's trying to like be better. And it's
Mhm.
actually like The Shining, the whole like novel was made like from a personal standpoint of Stephen King.
Yeah, he
because at one
was
point
Jack.
He was struggling with
Yeah.
alcoholism. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because I mean they're both writers in the
Yeah,
story.
yeah,
And
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that's the point too.
Mhm.
And then The Shining came out of like essentially like his fear of how far things could go if he didn't get his shit together. That's where like he created this from.
Well, that's
Like how
interesting.
scary it could be, you know. If
That
you,
probably makes sense.
which is why he was so pissed
Yeah,
off at
yeah,
Stanley
that's what I'm
Kubrick when
saying.
it's not how he wrote it. But like you can appreciate the book
Yeah,
for itself and the film. I fucking love this movie, dude.
really.
Yeah. Danny, what did you think of Danny?
Oh, he was great. Great
Yeah,
guy.
right?
Great
Dude,
kid.
these
The Shining.
fucking, you said this. I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, when you jump into horror, but like
Mhm.
the kids in these fucking
You
movies.
have to be good. It makes or breaks the
Oh
fucking
my
film.
god, I love these kids. He didn't have any acting experience whatsoever. This
Okay.
was, yeah, that's all I have for him.
For him,
Yeah, but I just thought that was crazy.
Mhm.
He's just so cute. I don't know.
he reminded me so. I went back and I thought about the differences in
Andy.
Andy, how Andy and Danny are so different. I think
Andy's smarter
Andy's
more.
also just like, yeah, a little like mischievous,
and independent.
independent, and kind of like a little cruder in comparison.
Yeah.
And then Danny over here, he just seems scared.
Danny's just afraid. But I mean, like, two completely different stories,
Yeah.
though. You know? 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Danny, like, imagine seeing these
One's
visions and
taking,
shit.
yeah, one like Danny runs and he's scared, but Andy is just like, I know the doll
Yeah.
and I'm trying to get rid of this fucker.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting that these kids are able to play characters like children. You wouldn't think that they would have this much range. It wasn't just the same. I didn't feel like I was watching, oh, this is just another kid,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, playing it. Like it felt different from the others, and I was really surprised by that. And I just got to give it credit to Danny. His actual name's Danny, which is really cool. And I think that's probably good for kids when
That
they're
should be
acting.
easy.
Yeah, so that if their name's the same, then there won't be this like imposter syndrome or something like that. All right. So I have theories.
Okay.
I have some stuff written down, and remember the bear?
Are you talking about the fucking furry thing?
Yeah. What was that shot to you? Because when I saw that shot, when Shelley Duvall is like, "Fuck Jack," when he cracked, right, and he's over here smacking axes and being wild and out, and she runs out of the room. She looks, and there's a guy in a bear costume.
Yeah, like he had just done the deed.
Yeah, with the guy.
Yeah.
But Stanley Kubrick, he's so specific. So why? And originally it was a dog, not a bear. Why do you reckon? Like when you watch that, you're like, oh, it's just that's a random. It could have been anything.
I honestly didn't think about it too much. Like when shit makes me uncomfy, I don't like to dive into it.
Like why?
I just want to pretend I didn't see it.
Oh, well, do I have a theory for you? I think the bear is Danny.
What?
I think a part of the abuse. Yeah, I think.
No, Christian, why do you do this to me?
He changed. He used to be a dog, and that actually played it to another character in the book. But he changed it to a bear, and when Danny also has a teddy bear, and he also has this bear imagery all over his room too. Danny's the bear.
It makes sense.
Yeah, and that's why he's so scared of. Remember when he walked into the room to get his little train, and Jack was like, "Come over here," and he was like, "You would never hurt me."
Yeah.
I have so much on this.
I know, but this is what I'm talking about.
When Danny's bent over into this, when he's brushing his teeth, that shot looks exactly like the shot from the bear as well. He's bent over just like the shot when the bear's given. There's a history of abuse. And he talks about the little boy that lives in his mouth. I don't know. I'm not sure what the fuck that is, but I think it's like when kids have like when they've gone through that trauma, they make like imaginary friends and shit like that. I think it's like I think it's his like kind of like maybe his innocence or something. And like
in the book, I don't know.
Go for it.
You want me to hear you out your theory out first, or
no? That's Jack has a drinking.
That's good. Like in the standalone film,
yeah,
that's probably what he was going for.
Yeah.
But in the book, it's supposed to be. I don't know how to talk about it because we're supposed to do like Dr. Sleep next, right? But it like kind of goes into Dr. Sleep a little bit. But what is it, Tony? That's the imaginary friend or whatever. Yeah, it's a lot. He's a lot more present in the book, and he actually like appears to him in a physical form, and it's supposed to be Danny in the future, and like all these visions that he's having about the hotel is supposed to be like future him trying to warn him not to go to the hotel.
Oh,
yeah. So like Tony was supposed to have a much more, which now that you say that makes a lot of fucking sense because of course Danny's like, I'm gonna do something different with Tony. Like I'm fucking, yeah, it makes sense.
He's so and I also think that notes that I made that I like picked up on. I don't think Jack likes himself. I think Jack hates himself. He can't look at himself. If you see like every time he's close to a mirror, he doesn't like stay there for too long, or he has like a weird reaction. Remember when he's going mad and he's going down the hall and there's a bunch of mirrors. Every time he goes near a mirror, like he passes one, he like twitches or like almost like a form of aggression, saying that he doesn't want to look at himself because of the bullshit that he's done to Danny. When he goes to the ballroom, he covers his face, right? And then like there's no one in there. Then he takes his hand away and to cover up the mirrors. Again, he can't look at himself, but this time he covers the mirrors with booze, and he drinks to hide his guilt, to like hide his pain, because he can't look at himself in the mirror because he knows he's a fucking piece of shit. Yeah, and then I think the room 237 is actually just a dream. I think Danny has a shine, so he like knows that that's some bullshit. Like, but I think it's really just a manifestation of Jack's guilt, and that he put himself in Danny's shoes. You get it?
No, you're gonna have to explain that to me.
The chick is a sexual being, right?
Oh,
and that's actually Jack, but Jack is experiencing it from Danny's perspective, where like this is awful, this is gross, I don't want this. Yeah.
Oh, ew.
But you see how like it's not just scary bullshit. Like I think that's why it makes sense to me.
Fun fact: in the book, it's actually room 217.
But they didn't have
But the hotel. Oh no, the hotel didn't want it to be an existing room.
Oh,
because they filmed it in an actual hotel, right? And I saw two different things. I mean, both make sense. Like one doesn't really make sense. It says because they didn't want guests to be afraid, but I don't think so. I think it was more like if you have this iconic room, you know, that like, movie was shot, everyone's going to be talking about it and wanting to go there. So yeah, they were like, can you make it a room that doesn't exist? So like, we don't have to fucking deal with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to trail off from you. I don't like this. I understand it. I appreciate it. It makes fucking sense. Kudos to you for.
It's not just me. I watched a lot of stuff and there was a lot of talks about it, and then I was like, holy shit.
And again, Stanley Kubrick fucking would put something in. Like, he's
And he said there's other things, like there's more layers to stuff, but that one, like, and out of all the ones that I remember and like researched and found, that's the one that's so compelling. Like what, like, because you wouldn't be able to explain the room 237, like, 'cause that seems out of left field. The dog thing, that's out of left field. Like the fact that he shot Danny the same way he shot that, the bear shit. It all just, if that's what you're going for, then it all ties together, because other than that, I don't know what else it could be. Like, those random scary shots. I don't know what's up with the twins. I'm not sure.
The twins, I didn't know if you were talking about just generally, like, why they're in there, or like if there was another meaning behind
I'm sure there
it.
is another meaning, because I can't connect. So
those are just both things that Stanley Kubrick incorporated.
Yeah, there's like a thing about Native Americans and them being killed and like being taken over by like whites and stuff. The hotel was built on an Indian burial ground, or Native American, sorry. All the stuff in there is like Native American art and like tapestry and whatnot. And then if you listen to some of the like the music, they have like chanting, like Native American chanting.
Right. So where do
the blood is their blood. Their blood was shed, and they're like, and it's they're kind of like attacking back.
Okay.
But I think there was like a Native American, and then I started listening to the music again.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, there is chanting. There is like Native American, like
for the blood. That makes sense.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's like their blood, and the theory or whatever goes that they are making Jack crazy.
Oh. I like that.
Like he's shedding blood the way that they shedded, an eye for an eye kind of a thing.
In the book, Jack, like, he comes to his senses at one point, and then he like tells Danny, like, and then that touches back to like the being an actual caring and loving husband and father, is like he comes to his senses for a second, and then he's like, oh shit, and then he tells Danny, like, I love you, and now like gives him a chance to escape and is like, get the fuck out. Yeah. And then he like goes to the boiler and he like explodes the hotel so that nobody else can ever like lose their mind, right? But in the which again makes this film kind of fucking cool, like a good scary movie. It's like, oh well, he just died that way, and the hotel stayed as is, so the next person's gonna come in, lose their minds, gonna fucking
like anyone could be Jack Torrance. I think is what the message of the like why he's in the picture or whatever, because like anyone could be this guy, and I think that's why he said Mr. Grady.
It's honestly crazy, like the amount. It's not like, I mean, obviously.
It's not my theory.
Screenplays are usually different, obviously, than the books, but like Stanley just really said, "I'm taking this. I'm making it my own." Like,
yeah, I appreciate that.
It was a mallet instead of an axe.
Before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And,
mallet. Where'd the mallet come from? It just because the reason why I was so surprised that it was a mallet. Where the fuck are you gonna get a mallet in the hotel? Like where in life do you use a mallet? An axe, like, oh, it's probably from like a fire escape type shit. It makes sense why there's an axe in the middle of where there's a bunch of trees and shit.
Yeah, then he goes to break Wendy's legs and back.
Yikes.
Like, I think he actually accomplishes that.
Oh god, you made me think of something. And I forgot to mention it when I was talking about the Native Americans. Can I just throw it in right quick?
Yeah.
The only person that shed blood was a person of color, like the Native Americans.
Yeah, which makes sense. And in the book, he does not die. He survives, which is another big thing that pissed Stephen King off. And then what's funny is that's what everyone thinks Dr. Sleep came out of, because he wrote Dr. Sleep in, I think, like 2013. It was a lot more after.
Yeah, it was a
way
great
later
beat,
than The Shining, as like a fuck you to Stanley Kubrick. So it was
but he died though.
Yeah, but
that's so fucked up.
Right,
he's already gone, dude.
Like, no, you weren't supposed to kill him, and here's why, motherfucker. I wrote another book, and he's alive in it. So he plays a big role in Dr. Sleep, but he's supposed to just hit him with the mallet, like he does. I think he hits him in the chest, and I think it just like knocks the wind out of him. You think he's dead, but he's not. And then he ends up helping Wendy and Danny escape.
Oh. Which is what he was supposed to do. It seemed like that's what they were leading him.
But I just thought that was funny that like I was reading the whole like Dr. Sleep came after, and he plays a big part of that. It's like, fuck you.
I know we're gonna watch it. While researching this movie, I realized how much people didn't like the Doctor Sleep film.
Really?
Yeah. So, but I'll be we'll be the judge of whatever. It's different directors and different visions that are kind of being put together. So, like Stanley Kubrick, not once was he ever gonna want to make like another one. He doesn't make sequels. That's not his fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
So for that Doctor Sleep to connect to a movie that wasn't supposed to be connected to, that's gonna be interesting to see.
Oh, a bunch of the iconic things from the film, like the Here's Johnny. Did you dive into that?
On the Here's Johnny?
Yeah.
Not really.
That's just
something he just made up.
Kubrick just made that up. But
Yeah,
I mean,
it's iconic,
fucking
yeah.
one of the most iconic.
Like every picture that I saw of this film, or like other videos and stuff like that, everyone used the same fucking picture. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Well, and the amount of references that have been made, it's kind of like the Star Wars quote. You know what I mean? Like everything in pop culture.
Even if you don't know what the fuck this movie is, but you know, Here's Johnny.
Seed of Chucky. You haven't seen that,
nope.
right? It's on fucking Netflix. You should. Anyway,
you're on Netflix. Leave me alone.
Anyway, there's a part where Chucky, like, he has an axe and he cuts the door the same way, right? And he puts his face there and he's like, I don't know what to say. Like, he's like, I'm at a loss for words type thing.
That's fucking great.
That was really funny. Come play with us, Danny. The twins. He made that shit up.
Oh, so the twins aren't in the book?
I don't know. I just that
because if it's
specific quote, because it's another like iconic thing, like when the twins show up in the hallway. I didn't read the book. Sorry.
You just know of the book?
Yeah, I just know of the book, and I wanted to see the main differences. All work and no play, the typewriter. Yeah. That was just put in by Kubrick, which I fucking loved. Yeah. It's like he just lost
It's a
shit.
form of insanity.
Yeah.
And that's like the first instance that Wendy knew, oh, he's lost it.
Yeah.
He's very much
lost what's crazy is like, I think Kubrick had his assistant like type all of those out. Of course he fucking would, dude. Jesus Christ. Sometimes I feel like, do you think we're just giving Kubrick too much credit? But I don't know, because he's made films like this before. You know what I mean? Like, but his other films also have a lot of imagery, so he's very meticulous. And he also has a bunch of shots where it's just like everything's centered. I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of things are like centered. Like Danny going down the hall centered. When he has that one fucking stare when he's looking into the camera. You know? Oh, did you figure out how they record him? Remember we were watching and we are like, who the fuck? Like, how are they recording Danny going down these halls?
Yeah, how they do it?
It was a wheelchair. Like, it was someone on a wheelchair. I wrote it down somewhere. I don't fucking know. But it was a camera and then like on some kind of platform, like a standstill camera. I don't know. I figured you might know. And they're just pushing him behind Danny. Yeah, and then there's a lot of like in the maze when they're running through like the snow and shit. There's literally just someone running behind him.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Also, the fucking snow is salt.
All of that
is salt.
That's so bad for the environment.
Yeah, and then at one point, the set burned down. Right at the same time that the set burned down, it also snowed in real life. Do you know what happens to snow and salt when they meet? It turns slush.
Oh,
fucking ruined. So while like the interior of the set is like it gone to shit, it's on fire. Yeah. It also snowed, so the outside is fucked because the snow and the salt mix, and it's just slushy.
Gross. That's that's so unfortunate, dog.
No, dude, the amount of shit that the environment. So for the like falling snow, it's like some kind of styrofoam that they're throwing. Yeah, dude, it's so bad.
Like all of it holds up just fantastic.
But if that was made right now, I feel like people would be having a riot about the fucking salt.
Pretty sure.
Also, they're playing a winter movie, but it was hot as balls. And everyone between takes. So like, do you remember in The Exorcist when we were talking about how they had to like keep the room like hella cold or whatever?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing here. But so then that's another way they would like butt heads, Kubrick and Shelley, because I think the part where she like has to come outside, like they have to perfect the timing of like the snowfall and then like something else. I don't know what they did to like, I think it was just smoke, a fucking smoke machine for like the breath, right? And then she took too long to come out the door, and you see them fucking arguing, and he's like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? We had this on time. And she's like, well, I couldn't open the door. It was too heavy. And fucking sucks, dude. And then she was talking about how like everyone's sweating and they have to take off all those layers because they're dressed for the snow.
Yeah.
That was crazy to me.
That is wild. Yeah, no, I did not know that.
Oh yeah, the maze is another thing Kubrick put in there. That's not a part of the book. No. They're supposed to be hedge animals. that like come to life. Like it's just supposed to be a bunch of come to life, and they start like trying to attack you. And shit.
In the book?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man, this guy changed. Jesus Christ, this guy
know.
changed. Now I understand it. Like when I first heard, I'm like, why? This doesn't seem too. It seems really good to me. I don't know why you're upset, but like now you're telling me all this, and it's like, wow, this is very different. I see why you don't like him.
But it's cool because like, again, you can appreciate the book because it was like two different kinds of scary. Like Stephen King wanted it to be like more ghosts and like haunted,
like
type
supernatural
shit.
stuff.
Yeah, supernatural. And Kubrick made it a fucking psychological thing.
Yeah,
like which is even scarier. You know what I mean? It just depends. Like pick your poison. Which one is your favorite type of horror? And like this is one of my favorites. Is the fucking think about your head and like what it does. Because again, like he already looked off the hinges before the hotel, so it's kind of like how much of that was the hotel though.
He never loved Wendy. He never loved her. No, this doesn't seem like a well put together family. Extra notes. The timeline's confusing. I didn't know what. Like, you know how they kept interjecting like, oh, it's Monday, it's Thursday. Why does that matter? No one referenced time.
Oh yeah.
They kept referencing. You know what I mean? There's like clocks and shit everywhere, and they're all. I think it was supposed to make you feel like lost in it. In this, you know what I mean?
Kind of like fuck with you. While
that's what I think it was supposed to. I think it was supposed to make the audience like, this was then, and then time
because then
is
it's
what?
also like, well, are you going through the week or are you? Because then in the movie, it's like, no, they've been in there for like a month or 2 months now, so it's like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's cool. Oh, the carpet was fucking hand painted.
That's really
that
cool.
whole thing.
That's super iconic.
Yeah,
there's so many things in this film that you've seen other places, and I appreciate it.
Yeah,
good movie. 10 out of 10.
Good movie. It's I feel
like
it.
It's there's not that much to complain about.
Similar to The Exorcist, it's like really good movie, and then when you dive into it, it's like, this is fucking awesome. Like there's the amount of work that was put into it, and it's like, wow, good for you.
No, it's great. I like it. I don't know if I have like much to add. To be honest, I feel like it was just solid, and I liked it. It had a lot of facts, dog.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Do you have anything else?
If you made it this far, play a guitar, and thank you for listening. I hope this recording came out great because I think
comment if I sound breathy
or distant. Because I'm used to having this kind of microphone in my face, but I don't know if you are. Because you were looking at your notes, so you were like,
and I keep swiveling because I'm afraid of hearing my breath, and
it's fine.
And I'm like sitting in a way where like I have like a double chin right here. I don't know how to act.
I think this was good. You overstayed your welcome, so leave now. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
No,
I was like, okay,
not
bye.
You. No, I'm saying everyone just, it's fucking over, dude. Thank you. Bye.